Hi everyone, I am Ashish and the topic of my research is structural characteristics of commercially available and self-synthesized carbon nanomaterials. Nobel laureate Dr. Richard Smalley stated that the discovery of carbon atom has revolutionized science and technology to a great extent, and now it is a reality that carbon has the potential of making chemically stable two-dimensional one-atom thick membrane in three-dimensional world. The element carbon has been used as a source of energy for the past few hundred years, and now in this era of technology, carbon has played a significant and a very prominent role in almost all fields of science and technology. The revolution, which started with the discovery of fullerene in 1985, continues with the newly discovered wonder material, graphene, and have never failed to amass the interest of scientific community. The interesting characteristics of carbon is its ability to form many allotropes due to its valency. The crystalline allotropes of carbon include diamond, graphite, graphene, fullerene, whereas the amorphous allotropes include gold, soot, carbon black, etc. Due to their unique physical and chemical properties, they act as a whole host of applications ranging from thin film technology to nanomedicine. The objective of my research is the study of structural properties of different carbon-based nanomaterials and also to study the performance of these in carbon nanomaterials in polymer matrix nanocomposites. The crystalline allotropes I have used are the graphite and graphene, and two hydrocarbons such as camphor soot, carbon black, and some waste materials such as sawdust soot and coconut shell ash. Here, the structural characterizations done are the XRD and the Raman analysis. Here, PVA-based carbon nanocomposites using graphite, graphene, and camphor soot were made. Here, commercially available carbon nanomaterials used were graphite powder, graphene, coconut shell ash, carbon black, which were directly bought from Sigma Aldrich, and sawdust soot and camphor soot were the self-synthesized one. Now coming to the preparation of PVA-based carbon nanocomposite. Here PVA with molecular weight 14,000 gram per mole along with graphene, graphite and camphor soot were used to prepare PNC by standard solution cast technique. To prepare pure PVA, 1 gram of PVA powder was liquefied in 20 ml distilled water and is thoroughly stirred using magnetic stirrer at 90 degree for 3 hours until the homogeneous viscous molten state was obtained. The solution was chilled to room temperature and poured into glass petri dish, and solvent was allowed to evaporate slowly at ambient temperature under atmospheric pressure for 1 week, followed by continuous heating in furnace at 35 degrees Celsius for 5 days. Following, PNC were removed from the petri dish and cut into acceptable length and width for further characterization. Now coming to X-ray diffraction analysis, figure 4 and 5 represents the XRD pattern of graphite powder and graphene. The major characteristic peaks of 002 at 26.5 degree and 004 at 54.6 degree with higher intensity was observed for graphite powder, whereas characteristic peak of 002 at 26.6 degree and 004 at 54.6 degree with weaker intensity compared to that of graphite was observed for graphene powder. The graphene produced exhibit almost the same diffraction peak as graphite, which indicated that graphene still retained the structure of carbon atoms or molecules. However, the diffraction peak has broadened and the intensity has weakened. This decrease in intensity can be attributed towards the large exfoliation of graphite to graphene nanosheets. That is, graphene is nothing but a single atomic layer of graphite. Figure 6 represents the XRD pattern of coconut shell ash. It contains both organic as well as inorganic material, and many agro-waste materials like rice husk and bamboo leaves also contain some metal in oxide forms such as silicon dioxide, aluminum trioxide, and titanium dioxide. The major diffraction peaks were observed around 12 degree, 26 degree, and 43 degree, corresponding to 101, 002, and 111 milliplanes. Some of the other constituents of coconut shell ash were observed at other theta values such as quartz, cordierite, and moissanite. One of the major compounds of coconut shell ash was observed as quartz, and the elements present in it are carbon, magnesium, oxygen, aluminium, iron, silicon, zinc, sodium, and potassium. Figure 4 represents the XRD pattern of carbon black, and the here the material is produced by the incomplete combustion of heavy petroleum products such as coal tar, and the XRD pattern revealed that the bought carbon black was of the grade N774. The major characteristic peaks were observed at 002 at 26.5 degree, 111 at 43.6 degree, and 004 at 54.6 degree. The peak located at 26.6 and 54.6 can be attributed towards the diffraction of graphite. Here the board band structure indicates the carbon black is amorphous in nature. Figure 8 represents the XRD pattern of the camphor soot. It is a waxy, flammable, and a transparent solid collected from the wood of the tree Cinnamon camphora, and the atmospherically burned camphor soot contain 93% of carbon. The major diffraction peak observed are at the 2 theta value 24.93 degree, which represents the 002 Miller plane, which is also formed due to the burning of camphor pellets. Another weak peak observed at 43.6 degree, corresponding to 111 Miller plane, indicates the presence of amorphous graphite. Figure 9 represents the XRD pattern of sawdust soot. It also contains many polymeric materials such as lignin, tannin, and other phenolic compounds. The major two diffraction peaks are observed around 25.5 degree and 12 degree, which corresponds to the 002 and 101 Miller planes respectively. The presence of cellular structure indicates and confirms the crystalline structure of carbon. Another weak peak observed at 2 theta value of 43.6 degree indicates the presence of amorphous nature of graphite. These are the structural parameters observed or taken from the data from XRD. Here we can observe the structural parameters such as crystallinity, crystalline size, strain, dislocation density, and interplanar spacing. When we observe, we can see that both graphite and graphene have crystallinity values above 90%, whereas the soots and ash, which are relatively amorphous in nature, have crystallinity below 65%. And the induced strain values are comparatively more in self-synthesized carbon nanomaterials than commercially bought ones. Now coming to the Raman spectroscopic analysis, one of the major bands present in the Raman spectra for graphite and graphene are the D, G, and 2D bands. The graphitic G peak observed around 1580 centimeter inverse and 2D band observed around 2700 centimeter inverse are always observed in graphitic samples. Another peak at 1350 centimeter inverse originates from the defects in the infinite graphic structure, which is known as the D band or the defect band. The ratio of intensity of D band to that of G band gives the band structure, size, and defects of the carbon material. Here G band corresponds to the sp2 hybridization of the carbon network, and it originates from the stretching of sp2 carbon pairs in both rings and chains. And the D band corresponds to the breathing mode of aromatic ring due to the structural defects. Figure 12 represents the Raman spectra for the coconut shell ash. Here also we can observe two broad and strongly overlapping D and G band at 1332 and 1589 centimeter inwards, and a characteristic 2D band around 2350 centimeter inwards, which confirms the graphite-like structure for the coconut shell ash. There is another peak of 806 observed at the lower wave number, which represents the intermediate frequency modes, which is due to the presence of carbon nanotubes. Figure 13 represents the Raman spectra for carbon black. Here also we can observe the two characteristic D and G band. We can also observe two peaks at 821 and 1048 centimeter inverse, which represents the intermediate frequency modes due to the presence of carbon nanotubes. And we can also observe a unique peak around 300 centimeter inverse, which are due to the radial breathing mode produced by the single-walled carbon nanotubes. Figure 14 represents the Raman spectra for the camphor suit. Here also we can observe two characteristic strong and broadly overlapping peaks at 1338 cm inwards and 1587 cm inwards, which corresponds to the D and G bands as reported in the graphitic samples. Figure 15 represents the Raman spectra for the sawdust suit. Here also the two characteristic D and G bands are observed around 1312 and 1593 cm inwards, and a 2D band around 2328 cm inwards like that of graphite. The peaks at 834 cm inwards represents the interfrequency mode, which accounts for the presence of carbon nanotubes. These are the Raman spectral assignments. The Raman shift observed below 350 are due to the vibration modes such as radial breathing mode due to the presence of carbon nanotubes. Peaks observed around 700 to 1100 centimeter inwards can be assigned to the out-of-plane transverse optical phonon branch. These phonons are obviously infrared active in graphene. Shift observed around 1300 to 1315 centimeter inwards represents the defect D band, which is due to the double resonance effects in sp2 carbon. Shift observed around 1565 to 1595 centimeter inwards are the graphitic G band, which is which are one of the Raman active mode of graphite. The 2D bands are observed at 2325 to 2685 centimeter inwards due to the overtone, which is the second overtone of the D mode. ID by Ig ratio, which is commonly taken as a measure of graphitization index, reflects the amount of structural defects and was calculated for each sample. As the value of this ratio increases, which indicates more amount of disorder in the system. Figure 16 represents the prepared PVA-based carbon nanocomposites. Here, PVA is an exceptional polymer with good performance and biodegradability. It is used in nanocomposites due to excellent film formation and high mechanical strength. Now coming to the conclusions, for any carbon, there is a characteristic peak of 002 milliplane at 26.5 degree. When we go towards the amorphous samples like soot and ashes, peak shift towards a lower 2 theta value of 12 degree and 43 degree corresponding to 101 and 111 milliplanes respectively. Crystallinity results show that graphite and graphene powder are better crystalline materials than the amorphous allotropes of carbon like soot, ash, etc. The major first order characteristic peaks in Raman spectra for carbon samples are D and G band. Another peaks such as radial breathing modes and intermodal frequency modes observed at lower wave number accounts for the presence of carbon nanotubes in all the samples. All of these samples exhibit similar Raman peaks like that of graphite. The lower intensity ratio of below 0.5 for graphite and graphene powder indicates less structural defects, whereas the higher intensity ratio of above 0.5 for CSA, carbon black, and camphor soot represents there is more amount of disorder in their structure. These are the references. Thank you.